There's so many ways to tell a story, and I had to craft a sound that resonated with that story. These recordings, they're like sitting down with a friend and having a personal conversation. We can talk about life. Well, that's a wild journey. We all experience moments of triumph, moments of loss, and everything in between. As an artist, I get to explore all these different parts of life through my music. And each composition reflects my own personal, unique experience.
I think what we accomplished here is we've got a fantastic sounding set of pieces. What was on the page has really come to life. Brilliant performances from the orchestra, very impressed with them. Fabulous soloists, marvellous choir that we recorded yesterday, which was so thrilling, to have 64 voices all committing fully.
They all added such depth and richness to my vision.
When Paul first asked me to handle this project with him, the size of it was just massive, and it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger every conversation we had.
And these were quite complex pieces, each one. There's like a lot of strings that we layered up. We had a string quartet, we have solo strings, we have 2 passes of strings, and then there's a really big brass section with like massive horns and stuff, and then on top of that percussion. And a choir. So these were quite complex scores to put together. So obviously I wanted to do justice to the music and really make the orchestrations pop and sing.
Just to be in the room with the percussion players, to hear this gigantic sound and to hear them just implementing every downbeat as hard as they could, and hearing the room just explode was really amazing.
Music is so personal. It's like having a heart-to-heart chat with someone. The words might be different, but the emotions resonate in a way we can all understand. During the composition process, I was looking for an emotional and unique voice. And I got to meet the incredible Maretta, whose voice is the storyteller in our conversation.
The most important thing for me when joining this project was to contribute in a way that made it turn out the way Paul wanted it to. So it was kind of my job to bring it to life and add that human side to it, I guess.
And this one in particular had to be organic in nature, and it had to feel powerful, and most importantly, it had to tell a story from beginning to end.
This project was difficult to realize. I had to start from scratch a few times, from the composition to productions and the mixing and mastering.
So we spent about 2 months preparing for it. We finally found a room in Berlin for Teldex, and then we started to implement how many musicians we're going to need. I think we had 50 strings, I think we had probably 24 brass, 64 voice choir, string quartet, vocalists, there's a solo vocalist, there's solo cello, solo violin, 5 percussionists, and when we put all this together, it is just going to be something so spectacular and special. We're all going to be really proud of it.
Recording in Berlin has been fantastic, actually. I mean, it's a great city. It's a city I've visited many times over the last few years, recording in Babelsberg as well. But this is the first time I've actually recorded in Teldex, and the room, everybody talks about the room saying, you got to record in Teldex, and yeah, it lives up to the billing. It's the best way to make music.
When Paul wrote, he wrote small instruments to large instruments, and my job is to capture the smallness and the intimacy of the whole project all the way up to the hugeness and grandness. And as the project evolved, Paul started with one single concept of the record, and over the course of 2 months, it just ballooned into this amazing, amazing project.
My hope is that you experience your story and emotions through these tracks.
I still don't know what it's going to sound like when it's all glued together, and it's the process that's the most fun, because working with people who are on the same wavelength and caring about the same things, it's precious, especially, I guess, in this business.
Music is not just notes and melodies. It's me talking to you, sharing a piece of my heart and my story. I hope when you listen, you'll find a piece of yourself in there too. Because that's what makes music truly special. It connects us, like old friends, sharing stories.